Hi, this is Talia Quigley and Alicia Rodriguez. Today we are going to show you our presentation on the famous artist Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol was an American artist born August 6, 1928, who greatly contributed to evolving contemporary art by challenging classical art methods. Throughout his life, Warhol was not only a renowned artist, commended for being a known leader in the visual art movement, but also a director and producer. Growing up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Warhol's passion for art flourished at a young age, where he was attracted to comics and magazines. Warhol was raised in a family with two older brothers, after his parents migrated from Austria-Hungary to the United States. As a child, Warhol would often indulge in viewing artistic pieces while taking time off school. Due to a neurological condition known as Sydenheim chorea, this disorder causes involuntary movements of limbs.
Warhol later decided to pursue his artistic education at Carnegie Institute of Technology from 1945 to 1949, obtaining a degree in pictorial design. Preceding his graduation, Warhol moved to New York City in order to pursue his career in art.
In 1949, the same year Warhol graduated from Carnegie, his first piece of art appeared in an issue of Glamour magazine, as an illustration to a story called What is Success? Warhol then proceeded to exhibit his artwork during the 1950s in New York, later having exhibitions open up in the West Coast. Warhol's infamous Campbell's Soup can painting was shown in a Los Angeles exhibition, where the elevated artwork of a simple and everyday object was praised. On June 3, 1968, Warhol was shot by Valery Solanas at his gallery, Warhol Studio. Although he survived the attack, he died 4 years later on February 22, 1972, due to cardiac arrhythmia, following a gallbladder surgery. Although Warhol passed away, his legacy has lived on through his artwork, and he has long surpassed having 15 minutes of fame, a phrase he coined.
Warhol's artistic career commenced throughout the 1950s through publishing a series of artistic books and creating artistic pieces using blotted line ink, which he first developed during his time at Carnegie. Warhol started his career in New York as a commercial illustrator, using the blotted line techniques, a form of printmaking, to create unique and interesting artwork that encompassed imagery. During this time, the artist officially changed his name, dropping the last letter A in Warhol. His first big break was in the 1940s when he drew shoes for Glamour magazine. Since then, Warhol has been known for his fun, bright paintings and prints of imaging ranging from celebrity portraits to ordinary household items. Warhol first decided to create artwork capturing ordinary objects, such as his infamous Campbell's Soup can piece, after gallery owner Muriel provided the idea to transform objects society commonly uses into pieces of art. He was able to make pop art a mainstream art form by creating the concept in the 1960s. This pop art technique is shown in his famous Campbell's Soup painting, while later being demonstrated in other works of art depicting items such as Coca-Cola cans and hamburgers. He also often used silk screen and lithography techniques to create his pictures. Preceding his untimely death in 1972, Warhol became a household name throughout the artistic community and throughout society alike. In 2008, his portrait called 8 Elvises was sold for $100 million.
Next, we will show you the famous pieces of artwork that Warhol created and explain how he used different elements and ideas. Warhol uses everyday common items to add excitement and transform them into works of art that the public can relate to. He uses symmetrical balance in his artwork depiction of the Campbell's Soup cans by using images printed the same size and side by side, which creates a new meaning for the viewer. Furthermore, he also encompasses the design element of the unity in the design, which allows related content as well as stylistic consistency. This artistic concept is used to depict elements within a design that are all similar in content, with elements all fitting together for the same mood. Rhythm is also used in the Campbell's Soup artwork to control the viewer's eye movements from place to place. Warhol does this by changing the different types of soup labels, which makes the viewer look at the artwork in a sequence.
Next, he uses contrast, which is the relative extent of the difference between light and dark areas in a picture. Warhol uses the element of contrast in his pop art depiction of Marilyn Monroe in order to show elements of a youthful design by using colors that contrast with each other greatly. The Marilyn Monroe series that Warhol displayed contained vibrant colors, which could only reflect Monroe's personality.
Lastly, Warhol uses cultural perspective, which is the key to understanding data visualizations and its possible interpretations. Warhol uses this perspective throughout a multitude of his pieces of art in order to not only elevate typical or ordinary objects, but to make the audience see objects in a different light.
For our artwork, which you can see on this slide, we wanted to apply Warhol's pop art concept to an ordinary object that is still relevant. We were wanting to elevate this ordinary object using contrast, which Warhol commonly used in his own artwork. We combined his technique of pop art with Warhol's signature tactic of transforming an ordinary household item into a work of art that is interesting to the audience. This contrast in pop art is shown in Warhol's depiction of Marilyn Monroe, which you can see to the right. Our goal in our own image was to use the same depth, color, and contrast to bring out the bright and vibrant energy that Warhol also depicted in his own artworks. Although there are many similarities, we did want to use some differences to make it our own piece of work. We wanted to use more saturation and contrast in our image, but still using bright and eye-catching colors that can relate back to Warhol's original pieces of work.
Andy Warhol was an artistic genius who transformed how we view and create art in modern times. His interesting and vibrant artworks are still admired today, and his influence on the artistic community will forever live on. Thank you so much for watching.